ಸಂಸಾರದಾವಾನಲ್ಲಿಡಲೋಕ ಪ್ರಣಯ ಕಾರುಣ್ಯ ಗಣ ಗಣ ತ್ವಂ ಪ್ರಾಪ್ತಸ್ಯ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣ ಗುಣನವಸ್ಯ ವಂದೇ ಗುರೋ ಶ್ರೀ ಚರಣರವಿಂದಂ श्री महाप्रभु कीर्तन नित्य गीता वादित्रमाद्यान् मनसोरसेना रोमाञ्चकम्पाश्रितरङ्गबाजो वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम् श्रीविग्रहाराधननित्यनाना शृङ्गारतन्मन्दिरमर्जनादो युक्तश्च भक्तांश्च नियुञ्जतोऽपि वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् चतुर्विधा श्रीभगवत्प्रसाद सद्वन्नतीर्थान् हरिभक्तसङ्गम् कृत्वैव तृप्तिं भजत सदैव वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् श्रीराधिका माधवयोरपारा माधुर्यलीला गुणरूपनाम्नाम् प्रतीक्षणा स्वाधनलोलुपस्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् निकुञ्जयोनो रतिकेलिसीद्याय यायालिभेर्योक्तिरपेक्षणीया तत्रातिदाक्षादतिवल्लभस्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् साक्षाद्धरित्वेना समस्तशास्त्रैरुक्तस्तथा भाव्यत एव सद्भिः किन्तु प्रभुर्यः प्रिय एव तस्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् यस्य प्रसादात् भगवत्प्रसादो यस्य प्रसादात् न गति कुतोऽपि ध्यायन्तु वंस्तस्य यशस्त्रीसन्ध्यं वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम् नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादिशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद चैतन्य नित्यानंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद चैतन्य नित्यानंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद चैतन्य नित्यानंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Nila Madhav Radha Nila Madhav Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Nila Madhav Radha Nila Madhav Radhe Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Sudarshana. Jaya Sitaram 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 Jaya Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha. Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Jai Om Shinu Pada Brahmamsa Pradika Chaya Shtota Shata Shishmatis Divine Grace Aparachana Vrinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON BBTPI Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Shinu Pada Brahmamsa Pradika Acharya Shtota Shata Shishmatis Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai. Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Premi se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrajabhumi Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Shri Purushottam Chaitra Jagnapuri Dham Ki Jai. Shri Ayodhya Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Yamuna Mai Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Samavrita Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Harinama Sankirtana Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Namaste Narasimhaya
नमस्ते नरसिंहाय प्रहलाद दायिने हिरण्याकाशिपूर्वक्षः शीलतङ्कानखालये हितो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा भये नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा नरसिंहमादिं शरणं प्रपदे नरसिंहमादिं शरणं प्रपदे तव करकमलवरे नखाम् अद्भुतशृङ्गा दलिता हिरण्यकशिपो तनुभृङ्गा केशवदेता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवदेता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे नरसिंहदेव 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 जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय भक्त प्रहलाद प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव नरसिंह भगवान की जय प्रहलाद महाराज की जय
प्रेयसी नमो नमः। तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः। राधा कृष्ण सेवा पाबो एई अभिलाषी। राधा कृष्ण सेवा पाबो एई अभिलाषी। जे तुम्हारा शरण लोय तारा वांछा पूर्ण होय। कृपा कोरी कोरो तारे वृंदावन वासी। मोर एई अभिलाष विलास कुंजे दियो वास। नयने है रिबो सदा युगल रूप राशि। नयने है रिबो सदा युगल रूप राशि। ए निवेदन धरो सखीरानुगत करो। ए निवेदन धरो सखीरानुगत करो। सेवाधिकार दिए करो निज दासी। दिन कृष्ण दासे कोय एये न मोर होय। श्री राधा गोविंद प्रेम सदा एन भासी। यानी कानी च पापानि ब्रह्म हत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणा पदे पदे। यानी कानी च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे। यानी कानी च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरे। जयो तुलसी महारानी तुलसी महारानी तुलसी महारानी जयो तुलसी महारानी। जयो वृंदे देवी वृंदे देवी वृंदे देवी जयो वृंदे देवी। प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। वृंदाये तुलसी देवे प्रियाये केशवस्य च विष्णु भक्ति प्रतिदेवी सत्यवते नमो नमः। वृंदाये तुलसी देवे प्रियाये केशवस्य च विष्णु भक्ति प्रतिदेवी सत्यवते नमो नमः। वृंदाये तुलसी देवे प्रियाये केशवस्य च विष्णु भक्ति प्रतिदेवी सत्यवते नमो नमः। कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदायिनी वृंदे देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय।
There are 10 offenses in the matter of chanting holy name that should be avoided, and they are as follows. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their life for propagating holy name the Lord. 2. To consider name the demigods and Lord Shiva or Brahma to be equal to independent and name Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Veda literature or literature pursuant the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to holy name the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities and strength of chanting the holy name. 8. To consider chanting Hare Krishna one of the auspicious ritualistic activities, offering the Veda the fruity activities, karma, ganda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glorious holy name. 10. To not complete faith in the chanting holy names, and to maintain material attachments even after standing so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to Vaishnava must carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to quickly achieve desired success, Krishna Prema. Now let us offer our most humble obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just as trees who can fulfill to everyone, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. One. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam ki jai. Jeto Darpana Marjanam Pavamahadavakni Nirvapanam Shriya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavatu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purunarmita Swadanam Sarvatmasnapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuta Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatra pita niyamita smaranena kalaha etadrishi tava kripa bhagavam mamapi durudevami desham iha janina nurakaha trinatapi sunicena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sada harihi na thanam na chanam na sundarin kavitam vajagadisha kamaye Mama Jamani Jamanishvare Bhavata Bhaktir Haituki Tavayi Ayinanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Ham Vishame Bhavam Puto Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Sthita Duri Satesham Vichintaya Nayanam Galata Shrutaraya Vadanam Katkada Rudaya Kira Pulakai Nichitam Bapurukada Tava Nama Grahane Pavishati Yuga itam nimishena chakshusha pravisha itam shunya itam jagat sarvam govinda vidahena me ashirisha va padaratam pinnashtumam adarshanam marmahatam karotu va yatha tatha bhavitatha lampato matprana nathastu sa eva na paraha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam ki jai. Glory to the Shri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes fire of conditional life, or repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is prime benediction of humanity in the large because it expresses a rays of benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases also enchanting bliss and enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, your holy name alone grants all benediction human beings. Thus you have hundreds of millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names you have vested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, our kindness enables us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate and have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than the tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. Oh, in such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor to desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Sanhamarjananda Krishna, I am eternal servitor, yet somehow I fall in the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me at one of the Adam's or lotus feet. O my Lord, while my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constant when I chant the holy name, while my voice choke up, when hairs my body stand end at the association of your name. O Govinda, feeling of separation, I'm considered a moment to be like a great millennium. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna is my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipable Lord, unconditionally. Shri Chaitanya Shastakam ki jai. Shri Mangala Charna prayers ki jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jananjana Shalakaya Chakshum Litam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manopishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Soyam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragnatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatya Desha Tarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshabhani Videvi Daitaya Kripaptaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhavin Namaha Madhuyo Jala Premadya Shri Rupa Nuga Bhaktita Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Mutaye Dina Darine Rupa Nuga Virudapa Siddhanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Saksha Vairagya Mutaye Vipalambara Sambodhe Padam Pujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gauravir Bhava Bhumistvam Nirdeshta Sajana Priyaha Vaishnava Sarabhama Shri Jaganathaya Te Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurateshe Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Svarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakham Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Sratoro Pango Mamamanda Materkati Matsarvasva Padam Bhojo Radha Madana Mohano Divya Divindadana Kalpadumada Shimadra Nagara Singhasanasto Shimadratha Shila Govinda Devo Prishtaribi Sevyamano Smarami Shiman Rasa Rasarambi Vamsi Vata Tatastitaha Karsham Venu Sonergo Pir Gopinatha Shiyestunaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Panamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Dadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shri Mangala Charna prayers ki jai. Shri Brahma Samhita ki jai. Let's recite all the Govinda prayers today. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadya Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Chintamani Parakara Satmasukalpa Viksha Laksha Riteshu Surabi Rabi Palayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shatasam Brahma Sevimanam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Venum Kavanantam Aravinda Dalaya Daksham Parhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Gandarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Alola Chantakala Savanamada Vamshi Ranangadam Panayakeri Kalavilasam Shamam Tribanga Lalitam Yata Prakasham Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Angani yasya sakalintriya vriddhimanti pashanti panti karayanti chiram jaganti ananda chimmaya sadujala vigrahasya Govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Advaitam achotam anadim anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabam Adurlabam Atma Bhakta Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Pantastu Koti Shatavassara Sampragamyo Vayurathapi Manaso Munipangavaanam Sopyasti Yapapada Simya Vichinta Tatve Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Ekopya Sarachayitum Jakadanta Kotim Yachakti Rasti Jakadanta Chayaya Dantaha Antantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Yad Bhava Bhavitati Yo Manujasta Teva Samprapya Rupa Mahimasana Yana Bhushaha Suktayam Eva Nigama Patitai Stuvanti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Ananda Chimma Rasa Patipavitapis Tapiya Eva Njarupa Tayakalapihi Goloka Eva Nivasati Kilatma Bhutto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Premanjana Churuta Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadeva Hitayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundam Achintya Guna Swarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Ramadi Murtishu Kala Niyamena Tishtan Nanavatarama Karopu Vanishu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhava Parama Pumamyo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Yasya Prabhapavavato Jakatanta Koti Koti Shashesha Visutadi Vibhuti Binam Tat Parama Nishkalam Anantam Ashesha Bhutam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Maya hi yasya jagatanta shatani sute Traigunya tad vishaya veda vidayamana Sattva valampi parasattvam vishuddha sattvam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Ananda Chimma Rasatma Taya Manasu Yapraninam Pratipalam Smaratam Upetya Lila Itena Bhuvanani Jayatijasram Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Golokanamni Nijatamni Talecha Tasya Devi Mahesha Haritama Suteshu Teshu Te Te Prabhavan Chaya Vihitasya Yena Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Shishti Sthiti Palaya Sadhana Shakti Reka Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Biparti Durga Ichanurupam Apyasya Cheshtitesa Ja Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Kshiram Yatha Dadi Vikar Vishesha Yoga Sanjayate Nahi Tatha Pitakasti Hetoho Yashamputam Apitatha Samupaiti Karya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Diparcha eva hi dashantaram abhipetya dipayate virveta hetu samana dharma yasthatika eva hi cha vishnu taya vipati Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Yakara Narnava Jale Bhajati Sma Yoga Nidram Ananta Jagadanta Saroma Kupaha Adara Shaktim Avalambya Param Swarmutim Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Yasya Kanishwastita Kala Matavalampya Jivanti Loma Vilaja Jagadanta Nataha Vishnu Mahansa Iha Yasya Kala Vishesho Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Paswang Yathashma Shakaleshu Nijeshu Teja Suyam Kiyat Prakatayat Yapitatva Tatra Pramaya Esha Jagadanta Vidarna Karta Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Yat Pada Palava Yugam Vinitaya Kumbha Dwandwe Pranama Samaye Sakanadi Rajaha Vignang Vihantum Alam Asya Jagataryasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Agnir Mahi Gaganam Ambu Maruti Shascha Kala Statatma Manasiti Jagataryani Yasma Bhavanti Vibhavanti Vishanti Yamcha Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. या चक्षु एष सविता सकलग्रहाणं राजा समस्तसुरमूर्ति अशेषतेजाः यस्य ज्ञाप्रमतिसम्पृतकालचक्रो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि धर्मोत्थपापनिचयश्रुतयस्तपांसि प्रमादिकीतपदकावदयाश्च जीवाः यततमात्रविभवप्रकटप्रभाव गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यस्त्विन्द्यगोपमतविन्दर्महोसकर्म पन्तानुरूपफलभाजनम् आदनोति कर्माणि निर्दहति किन्तु च भक्तिभाजं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यं क्रोधकामसहजफलयादिभीति वात्सल्यमोहगुरुगौरवसेव्यभावैः सञ्चिन्त्य तस्य सद्विष्णुं तनु आपरेते गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि श्रियकान्ताकान्तपरमपुरुषकौपतरवो द्रुमा भूमिश्चिन्तामणिगणमयितो यमृतं कथागानं नाट्यं गमनम् अपि वंशी प्रियसखि चिदानन्दं ज्योतिर्भ्रमम् अपि तदा स्वाद्यमपि च स यत्र क्षीराब्धि सर्वति सुरभिर्यश्च सुमहान् निमेषार्धार्घ्यो वा व्रजति न हि यत्राभिसमयः भजे श्रीतद्वीपं तमहम् इह गोलोकम् इति यं वेदन्तस्थे सन्थक्षितिविरचार कतिपये ईश्वर परम कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनाद्यराद्य गोविंद सर्वकारण कारणम. Krishna, who is Govinda, is the supreme Godhead. He has an eternal blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin, and he is the prime cause of all causes.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor who is tending the cows, yielding all desire in abodes built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purpose trees, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is adept in playing on his flute, with blooming eyes like lotus petals, with head decked with peacock's feather, with the figure of beauty tinged with the hue of blue clouds, and his unique loveliness charming millions of cupids.
I worship Govinda, the primary Lord, round whose neck is swinging a garland of flowers, beautified with a moon locket, whose two hands are adorned with a flute and jeweled ornaments, who always revels in pastimes of love, whose graceful threefold bending forms of Shyamasundara is eternally manifest.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose transcendental form is full of bliss, truth, substantiality, and is thus full of the most dazzling splendor. Each of the limbs of the transcendental figure possesses in himself the full-fledged functions of all the organs and eternally sees, maintains, and manifests the infinite universes, both spiritual and mundane.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is inaccessible to the Vedas, but obtainable by pure unalloyed devotion of the soul, who is without a second, who is not subject to decay, is without a beginning, whose form is endless, who is the beginning and eternal Purusha, yet he is a person possessing the beauty of blooming youth.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, only the tip of the toe of whose lotus feet is approached by the yogis who aspire after the transcendental and betake themselves to pranayam by drilling the respiration, or by the jnanis who try to find out the non-differentiated Brahman by the process of elimination of the mundane, extending over thousands of millions of years.
He is an undifferentiated entity, as there is no distinction between potency and the possessor thereof. In his work of creation of millions of worlds, his potency remains inseparable. All the universes exist in him, and he is present in his fullness in every one of the atoms that are scattered throughout the universe at one and the same time. Such is the primeval Lord whom I adore.
I adore the same Govinda, the primeval Lord, in whose praise men, who are imbued with devotion, sing the mantra suktas told by the Vedas by gaining their appropriate beauty, greatness, thrones, conveyances, and ornaments.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, residing in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha, resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of the ecstatic potency possessed of the 64 artistic activities in the company of our confidants, Sakhis, embodiments of the extensions of her bodily form, permeated with and vitalized by his ever blissful spiritual rasa.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is Syamasundara, Krishna himself with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotees see in their heart of hearts with the eye of devotion tinged with the salve of love.
I worship Govinda, the primary Lord, who manifests himself personally as Krishna and the different avatars in the world in the forms of Rama, Nrsimha, Vamana, etc., as his subjective portions.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Sri Brahma Samhitam ki jai. Bhagavad Gita 7.1 Shrinvatam Svakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridiyantasto Hridipani Vibhutoni Suhurt Satam Nashta Prayeshu Bhadishu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Tada Rajastamo Bhava Kamalobhadayaschaye Cheta Eter Anavidham Siddhim Sattve Prasiddhati एवं प्रसन्न मनसो भगवत भक्ति एकोता भगवत तत्व विज्ञानम मुक्त विद्यते हृदय ग्रंथे छिद्यन्ते सर्व संशया कृष्यन्ति सत्य कर्माणि दृष्ट एव मनीश्वरी. To hear about Krishna from Vedic literatures or to hear from him directly through the Bhagavad Gita is itself righteous activity. And for one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, acts as a best wishing friend and purifies the devotee who constantly engages in hearing of him.
In this way, a devotee naturally develops his dormant transcendental knowledge. As he hears more about Krishna from the Bhagavad Gita and from the devotees, he becomes fixed in the devotional service of the Lord.
By development of devotional service, one becomes freed from the modes of passion and ignorance, and thus material lusts and avarice are diminished.
When these impurities are wiped away, the candidate remains steady in his position of pure goodness, becomes enlivened by devotional service, and understands the science of God perfectly.
Thus, Bhakti Yoga serves the hard knot of material affection and enables one to come at once to the stage of Asamsyayam Samagram, understanding of the supreme absolute truth personality of Godhead. Therefore, only by hearing from Krishna or from his devotee in Krishna consciousness can one understand the science of Krishna. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, Text 4. Atma Tattva Visuddhi Artham Yadaha Bhagavan Ratam Brahmane Darshayan Rupam Avyalika Vratadrata. Atma Tattva, the science of God or that of the living entity. Vishuddhi, purification. Artham, goal. Yat, that which. Aha, said. Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. Ritam, in reality. Brahmane, unto Lord, Brahma. Darshayan, by showing. Rupam, eternal form. Avyalika, without any deceptive motion. Vrata, vow. Adrita, worshipped. Translation: O King, the personality of Godhead, being very much pleased with Lord Brahma because of his non-deceptive penance in Bhakti Yoga, presented his eternal and transcendental form before Brahma, and that is the objective goal for purifying the conditioned soul. Purport: Atma Tattva is the science of both God and the living entity. Both the Supreme Lord and the living entity are known as Atma. The Supreme Lord is called Paramatma and the living entity is called the Atma, the Brahma or the Jiva. Both the Paramatma and the Jivatma, being transcendental to material energy, are called Atma. So Sukadev Goswami explains this verse with the aim of purifying the truth of both the Paramatma and the Jivatma. Generally, people have many wrong conceptions about both of them. The wrong conception of the Jivatma is to identify the material body with the pure soul, and the wrong conception of Paramatma is to think him on an equal level with the living entity. But both misconceptions can be removed by one stroke of Bhakti Yoga. Just as in the sunlight, both the sun and the world and everything within the sunlight are properly seen. In the darkness, one cannot see the sun, nor himself, nor the world. But in the sunlight, one can see the sun, himself, and the world around him. Srila Sukadev Goswami therefore says that for purification of both wrong conceptions, the Lord presented his eternal form before Brahmaji, being fully satisfied by Brahma's non-deceptive vow of discharging Bhakti Yoga. Except for Bhakti Yoga, any method for realization of Atma Tattva or the science of Atma will prove deceptive in the long run. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that only by Bhakti Yoga can one know Him perfectly, and then one can enter into the science of God. Brahmaji undertook great penance in performing Bhakti Yoga, and thus he was able to see the transcendental form of the Lord. His transcendental form is 100% spiritual, and one can see Him only by spiritualized vision after proper discharge of tapasya or penance in pure Bhakti Yoga. The form of Lord manifested before Brahma is not one of the forms with which we have experience in the material world. Brahmaji did not perform such severe types of penance just to see a form of material production. Therefore, the question by Maharaj Parikshit about the form of the Lord is answered. The form of the Lord is Sachidananda or eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss. But the material form of the living being is neither eternal nor full of knowledge nor bliss. That is the distinction between the form of the Lord and that of the conditioned soul. The conditioned soul, however, can regain his form of eternal knowledge and bliss simply by seeing the Lord by means of Bhakti Yoga. The summary is that due to ignorance, the conditioned soul is encaged in the temporary varieties of material forms. But the Supreme Lord has no such temporary form like the conditioned souls. He is always possessed of an eternal form of knowledge and bliss, and that is the difference between the Lord and the living entity. One can understand this difference by the process of Bhakti Yoga. Brahma was then told by the Lord the gist of Srimad Bhagavatam in 4 original verses. Thus, Srimad Bhagavatam is not a creation of the mental speculators. The sound of Srimad Bhagavatam is transcendental, and the resonance of Srimad Bhagavatam is as good as that of the Vedas. Thus, the topic of the Srimad Bhagavatam is the science of both the Lord and the living entity. Regular reading or hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam is also performance of Bhakti Yoga, and one can attain the highest perfection simply by the association of Srimad Bhagavatam. Both Sukadev Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit attained perfection through the medium of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, Text 5. Sadidevo Jagatam Paro Guru Swadhishnyam Asthaya Shirshkasaya Ikshata Tam Nadhya Gashad Drasham Atra Samatam Prapancha Nirman Vidhiru Yaya Bhave Sahi Adideva, the first demigod, Jagatam, of the universe, Para, supreme, Guru, spiritual master, Swadhishnyam, his lotus feet, Asthaya, to find the source of it, Sirkshaya, for the matter of creating the universal affairs, Ekshata, began to think, Tam, in that matter, Na, could not, Adhya Gachat, understand, Drisham, in the direction, Atra, therein, Samatam, just the proper way, Prapancha, material, Nirman, construction, Vidhi, process, Yaya, as much as, Bhavet, should be. Translation. Lord Brahma, the first spiritual master, supreme in the universe, could not trace out the source of his lotus seed, and while thinking of creating the material world, could not understand the proper direction for such creative work, nor could he find out the process for such creation. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. This verse is the prelude for explaining the transcendental nature of the form and the abode of the Lord. In the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, it has already been said that the Supreme Absolute Truth exists in His own abode without any touch of the deluding energy. Therefore, the kingdom of God is not a myth but factually a different and transcendental sphere of planets known as the Vaikunthas. This will also be explained in this chapter. Such knowledge of the spiritual sky, far above this material sky and its paraphernalia, can be known only by the dint of devotional service or bhakti yoga. The power of creation by Lord Brahma was also achieved by bhakti yoga. Brahmaji was bewildered in the matter of creation and he could not even trace out the source of his own existence. But all this knowledge was fully achieved by him through the medium of bhakti yoga. By bhakti yoga, one can know the Lord, and by knowing the Lord as the Supreme, one is able to know everything else. One who knows the Supreme knows everything else. That is the version of all Vedas. Even the first spiritual master of the universe was enlightened by the grace of the Lord. So, who else can attain perfect knowledge of everything without the mercy of the Lord? If anyone desires to seek perfect knowledge of everything, he must seek the mercy of the Lord, and there is no other means. To seek knowledge on the strength of one's personal attempt is a sheer waste of time.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, Verse number 6. Sachintayandvaksharam ekadambasya upashranodvir gaditam vacho vibhu sparshetu yashodsham ekavimsham nishkinchanam drupayad dhanam viduhu. Saha, he, Chintyan, while thus thinking, dvi, two, aksharam, syllables, ekada, once upon a time, ambhasi, in the water, upashranot, heard it nearby, dvi, twice, gaditam, uttered, vachaha, words, vibhuhu, the great, sprushesu, in the sparsha letters, yat, which, shodasham, the 16th, ekavimsham, and the 21st, Nishkinchanam, of the renounced order of life, Drupa, O king, yet what is Dhanam, wealth, Vibhu, Viduhu, as it is known. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. While thus engaged in thinking in the water, Brahmaji heard twice from nearby two syllables joined together. One of the syllables was taken from the 16th and the other from the 21st of the Sparsha alphabet, and both joined to become the wealth of the renounced order of life. Purport. In Sanskrit language, the consonant alphabets are divided into two divisions, namely the Sparsha Varnas and the Talavya Varnas. From Ka to Ma, the letters are known as the Sparsha Varnas, and the 16th of the group is called Tha, whereas the 21st letter is called Pa. So, when they are joined together, the word Tapa or penance is constructed. This penance is the beauty and wealth of the Brahmanas and the renounced order of life. According to Bhagavata philosophy, every human being is meant simply for this tapa and for no other business, because by penance only one can realize his self, and self-realization, not sense gratification, is the business of human life. This tapa or penance was begun from the very beginning of the creation, and it was first adopted by the Supreme Spiritual Master, Lord Brahma. By tapasya only can one get the profit of human life, and not by a polished civilization of animal life. The animal does not know anything except sense gratification in the jurisdiction of eat, drink, be merry, and enjoy. But the human being is made to undergo tapasya for going back to Godhead, back home. When Lord Brahma was perplexed about how to construct the material manifestations in the universe, and went down within the water to find out the means and the source of his lotus seat, he heard the word tapa vibrated twice. Taking the path of tapa is the second birth of the desiring disciple. The word upashranat is very significant. It is similar to Upanayana, or bringing the disciple nearer to the spiritual master for the path of tapa. So Brahmaji was thus initiated by Lord Krishna, and this fact is corroborated by Brahmaji himself in his book, the Brahma Samhita. In the Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma has sung in every verse Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Thus Brahma was initiated by the Krishna mantra by Lord Krishna himself, and thus he became a Vaishnava, or a devotee of the Lord. Before he was able to construct the huge universe, it is stated in the Brahma Samhita that Lord Brahma was initiated into the 18-letter Krishna mantra, which is generally accepted by all the devotees of Lord Krishna. We follow the same principle because we belong to the Brahma Sampradaya. Directly in the disciplic chain from Brahma to Narada, from Narada to Vyasa, from Vyasa to Madhva Muni, from Madhva Muni to Madhavendra Puri, from Madhavendra Puri to Ishwarapuri, from Ishwarapuri to Lord Chaitanya, and gradually to His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, our Divine Master. One who is thus initiated in the disciplic succession is able to achieve the same result or power of creation. Chanting of this holy mantra is the only shelter of the desireless, pure devotee of the Lord. Simply by such tapasya or penance, the devotee of the Lord achieves all perfection like Lord Brahma.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 5, Text 7. Chapter 9, Text 7. Nishamya tadvaktar krishraya disha vilokyatran dyayad apashyamanaha swadishnyam astaya vimsha ditam tapasi upadista ivadade manaha.
Nishamya, after hearing, Tat, that, Vaktra, the speaker, Didrakshaya, just to find out who spoke, Disha, all sides, Vilokya, seeing, Tatra, there, Anyat, any other, Apashyamana, not to be found, Swadishyanam, on his lotus feet, Asthaya, sit down, Vimshreya, thinking, Tat, it, Hitam, welfare, Tapasi, in penance, Upadishta, as he was instructed, Eva, in pursuance of, the hay, gave, Mana, attention.
Translation. When he heard the sound, he tried to find the speaker, searching on all sides, but when he was unable to find anyone besides himself, he thought it was wise to sit down on his lotus seat firmly and give his attention to the execution of penance as he was instructed. Purport. To achieve success in life, one should follow the example of Lord Brahma, the first living creature in the beginning of creation. After being initiated by the Supreme Lord to execute tapasya, he was fixed in his determination to do it. And although he could not find anyone besides himself, he could rightly understand that the sound was transmitted by the Lord himself. Brahma was the only living being at that time because there was no other creation and none could be found there except himself. In the beginning of the first canto, the first chapter, first verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it has already been mentioned that Brahma was initiated by the Lord from within. The Lord is within every living entity as the super soul, and he initiated Brahma because Brahma was willing to receive the initiation. The Lord can similarly initiate everyone who is inclined to have it. As already stated, Brahma is the original spiritual master for the universe. And since he was initiated by the Lord himself, this message of Srimad Bhagavatam is coming down by disciplic succession. And in order to receive the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, one should approach the current link or spiritual master in the chain of disciplic succession. After being initiated by the proper spiritual master in that chain of succession, one should engage himself in the research of tapasya, in the execution of Brahma, to be initiated directly by the Lord from inside, because in the present age no one can be accepted to be as pure as Brahma. The post of Brahma to officiate in the creation of the universe is offered to the most pure living being, and unless one is qualified, one cannot accept to be treated like Brahmaji directly, but one can have the same facility through unalloyed devotees of the Lord. Through scriptural instructions as revealed in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam especially, and also through the bona fide spiritual master available to the sincere soul. The Lord himself appears as the spiritual master to a person who is sincere in heart about serving the Lord. Therefore, the bona fide spiritual master who happens to meet the sincere devotee should be accepted as the most confidential and beloved representative of the Lord. If a person is posted under the guidance of such a bona fide spiritual master, it may be accepted without any doubt that the desiring person has achieved the grace of the Lord.
Text 8, Canto 2, Chapter 9. Divyam Shastrabdam Amogadarshino Jitanilatma Vijito Bhaindriya Atapyata Smakila Lokatapanam Tapiyams Tapatam Samahita. Divyam, pertaining to the demigods in the higher planets. Sahasra, 1000. Abdam, years. Amoga, spotless, without a tinge of impurity. Darshanaha, one who has such a vision of life. Jita, controlled. Anila, life. Atma, mind. Vijita, controlled over. Ubaya, both. Indriyaha, one who has such senses. Atapyata, executed penance. Sma, in the past. Akila, all. Loka, planet. Tapanam, enlightening. Tapa, penance. Tapiyan, extremely hard penance. Tapatam, for all the executors of penances. Samahita, thus situated. Translation: Lord Brahma underwent penances for 1000 years by the calculations of the demigods. He heard this transcendental vibration from the sky, and he accepted it as divine. Thus he controlled his mind and senses, and the penances he executed were a great lesson for the living entities. Thus he is known as the greatest of all ascetics. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Brahma heard the occult sound tapa, but he did not see the person who vibrated the sound, and still he accepted the instruction as beneficial for him, and therefore he engaged himself in meditation for 1000 celestial years. One celestial year is equal to 6 times 30 times 12 times 1000 of our years. His acceptance of the sound was due to his pure vision of the absolute nature of the Lord. And due to his correct vision, he made no distinction between the Lord and the Lord's instruction. There is no difference between the Lord and the sound vibration coming from him, even though he is not personally present. The best way of understanding is to accept such divine instruction, and Brahma, the prime spiritual master of everyone, is the living example of this process of receiving transcendental knowledge. The potency of transcendental sound is never minimized because the vibrator is apparently absent. Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita or any revealed scripture in the world is never to be accepted as an ordinary, mundane sound without transcendental potency. One has to receive the transcendental sound from the right source, accept it as a reality, and prosecute the direction without hesitation. The secret of success is to receive the sound from the right source of a bona fide spiritual master. Mundane, manufactured sound has no potency, and as such, seemingly transcendental sound received from an unauthorized person also has no potency. One should be qualified enough to discern such transcendental potency, and either by discriminating or by fortunate chance, if one is able to receive the transcendental sound from the bona fide spiritual master, his path of liberation is guaranteed. The disciple, however, must be ready to execute the order of the bona fide spiritual master as Lord Brahma executed the instruction of his spiritual master, the Lord himself. Following the order of the bona fide spiritual master is the only duty of the disciple, and this completely faithful execution of the order of the bona fide spiritual master is the secret of success. Lord Brahma controlled his two grades of senses by means of sense perception and sense organs because he had to engage such senses in the execution of the order of the Lord. Therefore, controlling the senses means engaging them in the transcendental service of the Lord. The Lord's order descends in disciplic succession through the bona fide spiritual master, and thus execution of the order of the bona fide spiritual master is factual control of the senses. Such execution of penance in full faith and sincerity made Brahmaji so powerful that he became the creator of the universe, and because he was able to attain such power, he is called the best amongst all the tapasvis.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, Text 9. Tasmai Svalokam Bhagavan Sabhachita Sandarshayamasha Param Nayat Param Vyapeta Sanklesha Vimoha Sadvasam Swadrishtavabhir Purushair Abhishtutam. Tasmai, unto him, Svalokam, his own planet or abode, Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Sabhajita, being pleased by the penance of Brahma, Sandarshayam Asha, manifested, Param, the supreme, Na, not, Yat, of which, Param, further supreme, Vyapeta, completely given up, Sanklesha, 5 kind of material afflictions, Vimoha, without illusion, Sadvasam, fear of material existence, Swadrishta Vadbihi, by those who have perfectly realized the self. Purushai, by persons, Abhishtutam, worshipped by. Translation. The personality of Godhead, being thus very much satisfied with the penance of Lord Brahma, was pleased to manifest his personal abode, Vaikunta, the supreme planet above all others. This transcendental abode of the Lord is adored by all self-realized persons, freed from all kinds of miseries and fear of illusionary existence. Purport. The troubles of penance accepted by Lord Brahma were certainly in the line of devotional service, bhakti. Otherwise, there was no chance that Vaikuntha or Svalokam, the Lord's personal abodes, would become visible to Brahmaji. The personal abodes of the Lord, known as Vaikunthas, are neither mythical nor material, as conceived by the impersonalists. But realization of the transcendental abodes of the Lord is possible only through devotional service, and thus the devotees enter into such abodes. There is undoubtedly trouble in executing penance, but the trouble accepted in executing Bhakti Yoga is transcendental happiness from the very beginning. Whereas the trouble of penance in other process of realization, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, etc., without any Vaikuntha realization, ends in trouble only and nothing more. There is no profit in biting husks without grains. Similarly, there is no profit in executing troublesome penances other than Bhakti Yoga for self realization. Executing Bhakti Yoga is exactly like sitting on the lotus sprouted out of the abdomen of the transcendental personality of Godhead, for Lord Brahma was seated there. Brahmaji was able to please the Lord, and the Lord was also pleased to show Brahmaji his personal abode. Srila Jiva Goswami, in the comments of his Krama Sandarbha, annotation of Srimad Bhagavatam, cites questions from the Garga Upanishad, Vedic evidence. It is said that Yajnavalkya described the transcendental abode of the Lord to Gargi, and that the abode of the Lord is situated above the highest planet of the universe, namely Brahmaloka. This abode of the Lord, although described in revealed scriptures like the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam, remains only a myth for the less intelligent class of men with a poor fund of knowledge. Herein the word Swadrishtavadbihi is very significant. One who has actually realized his self realizes the transcendental form of oneself. Impersonal realization of self and the Supreme is not complete because it is just an opposite conception of material personalities. The personality of Godhead and the personalities of devotees of the Lord are all transcendental. They do not have material bodies. The material body is overcast with 5 kinds of miserable conditions, namely ignorance, material conception, attachment, hatred, and absorption. As long as one is overwhelmed by these 5 kinds of material miseries, there is no question of entering into the Vaikuntha Lokas. The impersonal conception of oneself is just the negation of material personality and is far from the positive existence of personal form. The personal forms of the transcendental abode will be explained in the following verses. Brahmaji also described the highest planet of the Vaikuntha Loka as Goloka Vrindavana, where the Lord resides as a cowherd boy, keeping transcendental Surabhi cows and surrounded by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune. Chintamani prakara sadmashu kalpavriksha laksharteshu surabhir apipalayantam Lakshmi sahasra satasambhrama sevyamanam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Brahma Samhita 5.29. The statement of the Bhagavad Gita, Yad Gatvana Nivartante Tad Dhama Paramam Mama, is also confirmed herewith. Param means transcendental Brahman. Therefore, the abode of the Lord is also Brahman, non-different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord is known as Vaikuntha, and his abode is also known as Vaikuntha. Such Vaikuntha realization and worship can be made possible by transcendental form and sense.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, Text 10. Pravartate yatra rajastamastayo sattvam cha mishram na cha kala vikrama na yatra maya kim uta parihare anuvrata yatra surachita. Pravartate, prevail, yatra, wherein, Rajatama, the modes of passion and ignorance, Tayo, of both of them, Sattvam, the mode of goodness, cha and mishram mixture, na never, cha and kala kal time, vikrama influence, na neither, yatra therein, maya illusory external energy, kim what, uta there is, apare others, hare of the personality of Godhead, anuvrata devotees, yatra wherein, sura by demigods, asura and the demons, archita worshipped. Translation: in that personal abode of the Lord, the material modes of ignorance and passion do not prevail, nor is there any of their influence in goodness. There is no predominance of the influence of time, so what to speak of the illusory external energy? It cannot enter that region. Without discrimination, both the demigods and demons worship the God, Lord as devotees. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The kingdom of God, or the atmosphere of the Vaikuntha nature, which is called the Tripad Vibhuti, is 3 times bigger than the material universes, and is described here as also in the Bhagavad Gita in a nutshell. This universe containing billions of stars and planets is one of the billions of such universes clustered together within the compass of the Mahat Tattva. And all these millions and billions of universes combined together constitute only 1/4 of the magnitude of the whole creation of the Lord. There is a spiritual sky also. Beyond this sky are the spiritual planets under the names of Vaikuntha, and all of them constitute 3/4 of the entire creation of the Lord. God's creations are always innumerable. Even the leaves of tree cannot be counted by a man, nor can the hairs on his head. However, foolish men are puffed up with the idea of becoming God himself, though unable to create a hair of their own bodies. Man may discover so many wonderful vehicles of journey, but even if he reaches the moon by his much advertised spacecraft, he cannot remain there. The sane man, therefore, without being puffed up as if he were the god of the universe, abides by the instructions of the Vedic literature, the easiest way to acquire knowledge in transcendence. So let us know through the authority of Srimad Bhagavatam of the nature and constitution of the transcendental world beyond the material sky. In that sky, the material qualities, especially the modes of ignorance and passion, are completely absent. The mode of ignorance influences a living entity to the habit of lust and hankering, and thus means that in the Vaikuntha Lokas, the living entities are free from these 2 things. As confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Brahma Bhuta stage of life, one becomes free from hankering and lamentation. Therefore, the conclusion is that the inhabitants of the Vaikuntha planets are all Brahma Bhuta, living entities, as distinguished from the mundane creatures who are all compact in hankering and lamentation. When one is not in the modes of ignorance and passion, one is supposed to be situated in the mode of goodness in the material world. Goodness in the material world also at times becomes contaminated by the touches of the modes of passion and ignorance. In the Vaikuntha Lok, it is unalloyed goodness only. The whole situation there is one of freedom from the illusory manifestation of the external energy. Although illusory energy is also part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, illusory energy is differentiated from the Lord. The illusory energy is not, however, false, as claimed by the monist philosophers. The rope accepted as a snake may be an illusion to a particular person, but the rope is a fact and the snake is also a fact. The illusion of water on the hot desert may be illusion for the ignorant animal searching for water in the desert, but the desert and water are actual facts. Therefore, the material creation of the Lord may be an illusion to the non devotee, but to a devotee, even the material creation of the Lord is a fact as the manifestation of his external energy. But this energy of the Lord is not all. The Lord has his internal energy also, which has another creation known to be in the Vaikuntha Lokas, where there is no ignorance, no passion, no illusion, and no past and present. With a poor fund of knowledge, one may be unable to understand the existence of such things as the Vaikuntha atmosphere. But that does not nullify its existence. That spacecraft cannot reach these planets does not mean that there are no such planets, for they are described in the revealed scriptures. As quoted by Srila Jiva Goswami, we can know from the Narad Pancharatra that the transcendental world or Vaikuntha atmosphere is enriched with transcendental qualities. These transcendental qualities, as revealed through the devotional service of the Lord, are distinct from the mundane qualities of ignorance, passion, and goodness. Such qualities are not attainable by the non devotee class of men. In the Padma Puran, Uttarakand, it is stated that beyond the 1/4 part of God's creation is the 3/4 manifestation. The marginal line between the material manifestation and the spiritual manifestation is the Viraj river, and beyond the Viraj, which is a transcendental current flowing from the perspiration of the body of the Lord, there is the 3/4 manifestation of God's creation. This part is eternal, everlasting, without deterioration, and unlimited, and it contains the highest perfectional stage of living conditions. In the Sankhya Kaumudi, it is stated that unalloyed goodness or transcendence is just opposite to the material modes. All living entities there are eternally associated without any break, and the Lord is the chief and prime entity. In the Agama Puranas, also, the transcendental abode is described as follows. The associated members there are free to go everywhere within the creation of the Lord, and there is no limit to such creation, particularly in the region of the 3/4 magnitude. Since the nature of that region is unlimited, there is no history of such association, nor is there end of it. The conclusion may be drawn that because of the complete absence of the mundane qualities of ignorance and passion, there is no question of creation nor of annihilation. In the material world, everything is created and everything is annihilated, and the duration of life between the creation and annihilation is temporary. In the transcendental realm, there is no creation and no destruction, and thus the duration of life is eternal unlimitedly. In other words, everything in the transcendental world is everlasting, full of knowledge and bliss, without deterioration. Since there is no deterioration, there is no past, present, and future in the estimation of time. It is clearly stated in this verse that the influence of time is conspicuous by its absence. The whole material existence is manifested by actions and reactions of elements, which take the influence of the time prominent in the matter of past, present, and future. There are no such actions and reactions of cause and effects there, so the cycle of birth, growth, existence, transformations, deterioration, and annihilation, the six material changes, are not existent there. It is the unalloyed manifestation of the energy of the Lord without illusion as experienced here in the material world. The whole Vaikuntha existence proclaims that everyone there is a follower of the Lord. The Lord is the chief leader there without any competition for leadership, and the people in general are all followers of the Lord. It is confirmed in the Vedas, therefore, the Lord is the chief leader and all other living entities are subordinate to him, for only the Lord satisfies all the needs of all other living entities.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, verse number 11. Shamavadhata Shatapatra Lochana Pishangavastra Surucha Supeshasaha Sarve Chaturbahava Unmashanmani Pravekanishka Baranaha Suvarchasaha. Shama, sky bluish. Avadhataha, glowing. Shatapatra, lotus flower. Lochanaha, eyes. Pishanga, yellowish. Vastra, clothing. Suruchaha, greatly attractive. Supeshasaha, growing youthful. Sarve, all of them. Chatu, four. Bhavaha, hands. Unmishan, rising luster. Mani, pearls. Praveka, superior quality. Nishkabaranaha, ornamental medallions, Suvarchasaha, effulgent. Translation: the inhabitants of the Vaikuntha planets are described as having a glowing sky bluish complexion. Their eyes resemble lotus flowers, their dress is of yellowish color, and their bodily features very attractive. They are just the age of growing youths. They all have 4 hands. They are all nicely decorated with pearl necklaces with ornamental medallions, and they all appear to be effulgent. Purport: the inhabitants in Vaikuntha Loka are all personalities with spiritual bodily features not to be found in the material world. We can find the descriptions in the revealed scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam. Impersonal descriptions of transcendence in the scriptures indicate that the bodily features in Vaikuntha Loka are never to be seen in any part of the universe. As there are different bodily features in different places of the particular planet, or as there are different bodily features between bodies in different planets. Similarly, the bodily features of the inhabitants in Vaikuntha Loka are completely different from those in the material universe. For example, the 4 hands are distinct from the 2 hands in this world.
No, yeah. How do I read that? How do I read it?
Just normal.
Pravala Vaiduriyamnena Pravala Vaiduryamarnala Varchasaha Parsvadru Parispurat Kundala Mauli Malinaha.
Malinaha.
Malina. Malinaha.
Pravala, coral. Vaidurya, a special diamond. Mrunala, celestial lotus. Varchasaha, rays. Parishpurat, blooming. Kundala, earring. Mauli, heads. Malinaha, with garlands.
Translation. Stop hitting me in the chest. Some of them are effulgent like coral and diamonds in complexion and have garlands on their heads, blooming like lotus flowers, and some wear earrings. Purport: there are some inhabitants who have attained the liberation of Sarupya, or possessing bodily features like those of the personality of Godhead. The Vaidurya diamond is especially meant for the personality of Godhead, but one who achieves the liberation of bodily equality with the Lord is especially favored with such diamonds on his body. Gantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Today we read up to Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 2, Chapter 9, Text 12. We will continue reading tomorrow with Text 13. Hare Krishna. We will start Guru Puja.
Bring it closer. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma. Bandhamui Savadana Mate. Jahara Prasave Pai E Baba Toriya Jai. Krishna Prapti ho jaha hoite. Guru Mukha Padmavaya Chitete Goriya Agya. Arana Gori Ho Mane Asha. Shri Guru Charane Raji Aise Utama Gati. Jai Prasad Pure Sarva Asha. चक्षुदान दिलो जय जन्मे धन में प्रभु से. दिव्य ज्ञान दूधे प्रकाशित हो.
પ્રેમ ભક્તિ જા હોય તે આ વિદ્યા વિનાશ જતે વેદે ગજ હર ચરિતો શ્રી ગુરુ કરુણ સિંધુ આદમ જૈનાર બંધુ મુખનાથ લોકેરા જીવાના હા પ્રભુ કોરો દોયા દેહ મોરે પદ છાયા એ બેગાસ ગુસુક ત્રિભુવાના શ્રી પ્રભુપાદ પતિ તપવાના જય પ્રભુપદ જય પ્રભુપદ જય પ્રભુપદ જય પ્રભુપદ નમઃ ઓમ વિષ્ણુપદાય કૃષ્ણપ્રેષ્ઠાય ભૂતલે શ્રીમતે ભક્તિવેદાંત સ્વામી નિતિ નામિને नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष्य शून्यवादी पश्चात्यादिशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद अद्वैत करतरत शिव सरित गौर भक्त वृंदा चैतन्य नित्यानंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. The lotus feet of our spiritual master is the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow down to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of mature suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is that my conjure have purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, breath after breath. From him ecstatic power emanates. By him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean mercy, the final and poor, and the Lord and master of devotees. O Master, O Lokanatha Goswami, be merciful unto us, give the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three wheels. We take the shelter of your lotus feet. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.